It is a beautiful, bright, sunny day here in Petersburg, Indiana, the center part of Fountain County, as we get set for a big Wabash River Conference matchup between the Attica Red Ramblers and the Fountain Central Mustangs. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. Tonight's game is brought to you by Tipmont. Super fast fiber internet now available in parts of Montgomery and Fountain counties. Get started today at tipmont.com. Coach, good to be with you here tonight. Here alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. Big matchup here today as the Fountain Central Mustangs look to get their fourth win on the season. Meanwhile, Attica looking for their first win on the season so far here tonight.
Yes, very good point. Fountain Central has won 3 games in a row after losing their opener to Southmont, which is a very good ball club, has a big-time fullback, and I think Attica is trying to get on the board.
Indeed they are, and of course they're under head coach Tyler Allen in his first season here as the head coach here at Attica. Meanwhile, Fountain Central, they are under the tutelage of Herb King, and talking with him here, Coach, at the beginning, coming into this game, it's just interesting to see about how he's really been able to approach and rebuild this program after it fell on hard times over the last few years.
Yes, he talked about having a better balance this year. He moved his number one quarterback from last year to running back, and now he's got a youngster playing quarterback who's doing well. So he's looking to be balanced. His keys to the game, he wants no turnovers, obviously. He wants to contain Attica's quarterback, who throws an awful lot, and make him throw, and he wants to finish drives.
Indeed he does, and just to put that in perspective, Dane Goris, the starting quarterback for Attica, he has already thrown the ball 124 times this season, only through 4 games. And he is also leading the Class 1A in passing yards overall with 859 yards with 5 touchdowns through the air. The quarterback you mentioned for Fountain Central, he is Eli Foxworthy, only a freshman, taking over for the now senior running back Owen Acton, who moves over to his left on the depth chart. His story has certainly been one that is intriguing as well, with Herb King rebuilding kind of the feeder system going into Fountain Central. He was working with him just a season ago as an 8th grader, now getting the starting reps here as a freshman here for the Mustangs.
What's worked out well for him is Isaac Gaylor is number 1 receiving yards in 1A. Attica, so they are throwing the ball and, like I said, a better balance than they had last year.
As you hear from the PA announcer, Attica will win the toss. And now we get set for some big Friday night lights here. We are already halfway through the season, Coach. Can you believe that?
It's hard to believe. One of the things I think you might talk about tonight is, will fatigue be a factor? 16 of the 22 players that start on both teams are playing both ways. So that could be a factor depending on but it's a great night for high school football. The weather is phenomenal.
Indeed it is. In fact, that is the pinnacle of Class 1A football. You get a lot of players playing both ways. We will take a look at the starting lineups in just a matter of moments here as we approach kickoff here today. The Attica Ramblers, again, 0-4 on the year coming into this contest, 0-2 in conference play. The Fountain Central Mustangs are 3-1 on the year under second-year head coach Herb King, already an Indiana Football Hall of Famer. He has won 196 games in 6 different programs that he has coached. He was previously at programs such as Seeger as well as Rockville, where he took the Rocks to a state championship appearance and has now been trying to get back to that point here again. Coach, it is an excellent night for football, as you said. Even the harvest going on in the background right there for the soybean field just immediately to the west of this nice facility here at Fountain Central.
I think one of the things you want to look at early on is, can Attica slow down Fountain Central's balanced attack? And can Fountain Central get to the Attica quarterback? So I think those are going to be 2 things that we need to follow throughout the game.
So Fountain Central will get their hands on the ball first here in this contest as we await opening kick here today from the Attica Ramblers. Handling the kicking duties here will be Jackson Sisk here for the Ramblers. He puts his boot into it. We are underway here in Petersburg. And it'll be taken up the middle here, and a nice run coming up from J.D. Allen. He goes all the way down the sideline. He gets close into the red zone and is just short of the goal line. He'll be taken down right at about the 10-yard line. An excellent start right there for Herb King and his Mustangs.
Yeah, J.D. is a sophomore running back, defensive back, and he plays both ways as well. But that was the crease kind of opened up on the right side, and he had one guy to beat. And fortunately for Attica, they brought him down, 25-yard line.
And so here we get our first look at the Fountain Central Mustangs under freshman quarterback Eli Foxworthy. They start at the 12-yard line of the Attica Ramblers. And the handoff will immediately go right up the middle to Owen Acton, and he goes in virtually untouched for an opening touchdown on the very first play of scrimmage here in this contest.
Not much resistance there. That hole opened, and I think you and I could have walked through there.
Indeed, yes, we could have. As we take a look at the replay here, just a simple move up the middle here for the running back, who was quarterback just a season ago here for Fountain Central.
Yeah, he has already rushed for almost 400 yards this year as a converted quarterback to running back. So good move on both their parts, because the Foxworthy kid has some very nice size for a freshman. I believe he has an older brother that's a pretty good athlete. And so, 6 feet, 165, and Coach King thought he had a lot of room to grow.
And his older brother was definitely was a player on this team a season ago before graduating. He was one of the key losses for this Fountain Central squad. And now if you're Attica, you've got to try and at least get some sort of response here, because that's certainly not the way you want to start things off if you're head coach Tyler Allen.
No, and from what we've learned, Attica throws the ball an awful lot. So we'll see a lot of empty sets. And on the flip side, from Fountain Central, we'll see a lot of zone blitzes. And can Fountain Central get to the quarterback? Can Attica protect? And it'll be interesting to see how the protection holds up for Attica against the size of Fountain Central.
So kicking the ball off here will be Uriah Wildman here for Fountain Central. He has yet to attempt a field goal this season, but he is 7 of 10 on PATs. He'll be handling the kicking duties here today for Fountain Central. So here we go, getting set here for this next drive here from the Red Ramblers. It's going to be a bouncing ball here, and it'll be taken by Attica. And it'll be brought back here to the 35-yard line. And so that was Caleb Crowder who took the ball back on the return here for Attica, and that will set things up here for the Ramblers in decent field position here, to say the least. But now we get to see Dane Goris for the first time here today. He is a 5'8" junior quarterback. Again, leads the state in Class 1A in passing. Granted, that is also because, Coach, he has thrown the ball 124 times already this year.
Yes, they do not have very many rushing yards. Here's the open backfield we chatted about.
And so all alone here in the backfield is Goris. He's back to throw, and immediately you get the blitz coming from Fountain Central, and Goris is just going to have to scramble himself. He picks up about 3 yards to bring up second down here for the Ramblers.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that run is that Attica's only rushed for 116 yards this year. Goris has 108 of them, which is highly unusual for that percentage to be that high.
The majority of those rushing yards probably coming from plays just like that, where he has to bail out when the coverage is just that good. So Goris back in the gun again with 3 wide receivers on the far side here for him. Goris goes down the middle, and it is incomplete as he was trying to get it to Rylan Farrell, and it's going to be 3rd down and long here for Attica.
Well, as you can see on the line of scrimmage, Kurt, there's a big disparity in size. So on the first 2 plays, he's had some pressure. That one maybe step forward a little bit. The kid was open for a brief moment, but if you look at the size there, that is a big differential.
Indeed it is. In fact, you have Eli Thompson, Connor Paxton, and Eli Davis on that front line here for Fountain Central, as Goris again having to scramble out of the pocket, and he gets absolutely buried by that big front line there of Fountain Central. In on that tackle appears to be Connor Paxton, as well with some help from Eli Davis. Let's take a look at this again.
Yeah, he really didn't have any time. But the Fountain Central, I believe their defensive line averages over 200 pounds a kid, which in a high school game, that's pretty good, especially in 1A.
Definitely. Andrew Mendoza in on that tackle as well. So the punter out now here for Attica as they go 3 and out. That was a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll take a Attica bounce all the way down to about the 26-yard line.
Well, if you notice, we've had 2 kickoffs. Neither one was very good. And we had a punt that wasn't so good. So either these kids don't kick off a lot or punt a lot, but it's surprising that both those kickoffs were very, very short of what you would expect in a high school football game.
But you take what you can get here as Eli Foxworthy comes back out here for the next drive again. They have only had 1 play from scrimmage, has Fountain Central, and that was 12 yards for a touchdown off of an excellent return from J.D. Allen. Here is Acton up the gut, and he gets tackled just across the 35-yard line, and that is good for a first down. Take a look at the replay again here as he's taken down in the backfield there by Josiah Barnett.
Another big hole. I mean, he's a big kid. He's 6'3", 210? For a running back, that's big time in high school.
13-yard gain. Here's the pitch again to Acton as he turns the corner and reaches again for another first down across the 45-yard line out to midfield. And again, he is good for another first down there on a 10-yard scamper.
Well, you can see he had 3 blockers out in front of him. He was able to turn the corner and still got upfield.
Again, Owen Acton was a quarterback a season ago, the starting quarterback for the Mustangs. Now the starting running back. He has over 370 yards on the season coming into this contest. Already 2 games this year, eclipsing the 100-yard mark rushing. High snap and the pitch again to Acton. He turns the corner to the outside. 4 runs in a row, 4 first downs here for Owen Acton.
I'm not sure they're going to have to throw the ball tonight. They might balance out a little bit, but there are some awfully big holes for this young man to run through.
That is good for about 14 yards and another first down. So we keep rolling on here for Fountain Central, again coming off of a win at Covington just a week ago. That was a 43-6 shellacking. Here's the first player not named Owen Acton to touch the ball out of the backfield tonight, and this is Dawson Blue, who reaches for the pylon, and he's in for the touchdown. Let's take a look at the replay here in a matter of moments as Dawson Blue celebrates. Big block right here on the end.
You know, it's a little bit of an end around. But Dawson's a big kid as well, and just turns the corner and slides into the end zone.
Credit to Eli Thompson for that big block on the end right there, just absolutely leveling the edge rusher there for Attica. The PAT coming up now here for Uriah Wildman. He puts that through the PAT uprights, and it is good. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
WinTech, powered by Tipmont, is building the future in Battleground. We offer 3 easy and affordable packages with superior reliability, customer service, and no data caps. Get a free Roku when you sign up today at join.wintech.com.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby-o. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back here to Fountain Central as the Mustangs lead the Ramblers 14-0. Getting right back in here as we're a little bit late getting back from the break, so we missed the opening kickoff there. And so now Attica will get it back across midfield into some plus territory here to get out to the 50. A long pass here from Goris, and it is a little bit long for his wide receiver, Kyler Stamper.
Pass for Stamper falls incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Ramblers.
You know what? I think that youngster could have caught that. That was a pretty good pass. The defender fell down, but I believe he got his hands on that. And if you look back, Attica got a very good, nice kickoff return.
They got it back. It was about a 40-yard return from about the 35-yard line back across midfield. And now we have a whistle and a flag for the first time tonight.
I believe it's going to be motion. False start.
It is indeed the case. False start on Attica will back them up 5 yards. That's the first penalty by either team here in this contest.
Against Attica. Makes it 2nd and 10.
So again, Fountain Central just a couple seasons ago only had 22 players to choose from. But ever since Herb King's arrival, he's been able to get numbers back up to so far 30 this year. And just introducing a rigorous program that has certainly been working to the team's benefit. Here's Goris in some trouble, and he is sacked in the backfield for the second time here this evening.
Goris sacked.
Yeah, he had a little bit of time, but you know what? If you're going to pass this much, you have to throw the ball. You have to throw it out of bounds, throw it somewhere. But if he's going to take that long to make a decision where to throw, it's going to be a long night for number 10.
So that'll back them up 17 yards. Third down and long. Goris fires over the middle, and it's intercepted. And that is a big pickoff right there by Isaac Gaylor, who is a wide receiver on offense, makes a big catch on defense right here for the FC defense.
Yeah, it's tough to throw late over the middle like that. There were three Fountain Central defenders there, right there. And you know what, Gaylor, he leads 1A in receiving yards, so the kid can catch. So whether you're on offense or defense, it's the same football.
He has 371 receiving yards coming into the night, as a matter of fact.
I wouldn't be surprised, just because they've run the ball so much, to see him take a shot here, just so the kid can throw the ball. And if you're a quarterback, you want to throw.
Absolutely. 4 interceptions now for Dane Goris on the year. Foxworthy, again, looking to go to the air for the first time tonight. Here's your shot downfield, and it is right through the hands of the aforementioned Gaylor, and he is kicking himself right there for missing that catch.
Well, I called the play, but I said Gaylor could catch.
He certainly can. He just missed it.
Sorry, that was a great pass. He catches that as another touchdown.
Talking with Herb King this week, he says that he was working with Eli Foxworthy on his mechanics as an 8th grader just a year ago so that he could be prepared to be taking varsity reps his freshman year so they can put Owen Acton back at where he's really supposed to be playing, and that's running back. But without the presence of an actual quarterback on the roster a season ago, they had to rely on Acton a lot, as they do right here on this play. He gets across midfield and goes down the sideline. He stays in bounds, shoves a whole bunch of players off, tight ropes to the end zone, and barring any other call, it looks like they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
I think that was a touchdown.
But that was a heck of an effort right there by Acton. And they do call it a touchdown. So I didn't see an indicating score, but either way, what an effort right here by Owen Acton.
What great balance by this young man, and had the foresight to stay in bounds.
That is a 60-yard run right there by Owen Acton, who already here, Coach, has eclipsed 100 yards rushing. We're not even 5 minutes into the game yet.
Well, on that play, he was not touched till he was 15, 20 yards down the field, so that makes it a little bit easier. Then he outran a couple and then drugged the last guy to the end zone, got to the pylon, and that was been a quick 21 points.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Titmont, which is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Learn more about super fast fiber at titmont.com. Once again, alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. It is already a 21-0 ball game here in Petersburg, and we have not even gotten 5 minutes into the game here. Again, another look at just this effort by Acton to evade 3 tacklers and then stay in bounds ever so slightly for the final 15 yards and reaching for the pylon. You got to love that effort right there by the senior running back.
You know, that senior running back is 6'3", 210. So if you look at the size on Attica's defensive backs, it's going to take a couple of those kids to take him down. But that was just a great job by that young man of staying in bounds and being able to dive for the end zone. You won't see some college kids be able to pull that play off.
But he certainly did. Might also have some colleges looking at possibly recruiting him next year. Coach King calling him a gifted running back. Accounted for nearly 2,000 all-purpose yards in 2022, both as quarterback and a rusher.
Oh, much better kickoff. Much better kickoff.
And that's going to be taken out of the end zone here by Attica. And a big return coming up now, as that is Rylan Farrell, who gets that all the way back to the 35-yard line. So if there has been a speck of light here for the Red Ramblers here in this contest, Bob, it has been special teams.
They've had 2 back-to-back kickoff returns that have been very good. He's almost, I don't think he's quite to midfield, but he had to go back to almost the goal line to pick that up because that was the best kickoff we've had in the game.
Rylan Farrell, 150-pound senior, one of the elder statesmen running back, or wide receivers rather, here for Attica.
Well, let's see if Attica can complete a pass.
They have yet to do that, as Goris has missed 5 passes and with an interception so far, but it's hard to complete a pass when you just get really good blitzes and penetration right there, just as we saw from that front line here of the Mustangs. That was Eli Davis.
Yeah, I think that might even have been a called quarterback draw, but with the penetration of those three young men from Fountain Central, they didn't have a chance.
So they keep going backwards here, do the Red Ramblers.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage keeps starting in Attica's backfield, which is not a good sign.
Goris. Again, not a lot of time, and he gets sacked again.
Another sack.
That is Connor Paxton this time.
Connor Paxton on the sack.
That is 4 sacks already here tonight. Here for Fountain Central.
Yeah, I believe the only positive yardage has been the 2 kickoff returns, because I don't believe he's completed a pass yet.
He has not completed a pass. They have had 1 run for 3 yards, but that has since been negated by the backing up, as it's now 3rd and 27. Goris looking for just a screen to the outside this time, and it falls incomplete, and it's another 3 and out for Attica.
You know, I know they throw the ball a lot, obviously because of the empty backfield, but this young man has not very much time to throw. And his receivers aren't open, so that makes it hard to have a passing attack when you have no time and your receivers aren't open. And they're not. They're bringing people on every play.
Of course, when they throw the ball as much as they do, that's certainly to be expected from the Fountain Central defense. Here's the punt. It goes across midfield, and Acton will just let that go past the 40-yard line, where it will be downed there by Kyler Stamper.
At about the
So Fountain Central again, 3-1 on this season coming into tonight. They had an opening loss on the road at Southmont, which is a heck of a program they have going right now with a heck of a running back in their arsenal. But ever since that opening season loss, they have rattled off 3 straight wins against Crawfordsville, Riverton Park, and Covington. They're averaging 27.5 points per game. They've already just about eclipsed that mark here in the first quarter. And Foxworthy will give it off this time to Allen. He'll turn the corner, goes upfield across the 45-yard line where he will be dragged down.
Yeah, that's 2 counters they've run, and both plays have been highly successful. But if you notice, they're pulling people, and they've had huge blocks in front.
That's a 20-yard scamper right there by J.D. Allen.
I mean, that's a huge alley to run in. Once again, short field, 45-yard line.
Delayed handoff this time to Dawson Blue, who will try to turn the corner. He sheds a tackler, keeps going upfield, moves to the outside across the 20 before he is finally dragged down in the secondary across the 30 down to the, looks like about the 15-yard line actually.
That's the same young man that ran the play on the drive before, only it went the other way.
So over the last 4 runs here, Coach, Fountain Central is averaging roughly 28 yards per carry. Again, another excellent run here by Dawson Blue, who had another touchdown earlier on to make it 14-0, and now Fountain Central looks to make it 28-0 here as J.D. Allen will turn the corner to the outside, and he gets into the end zone virtually unscathed for another touchdown here for the Mustangs. Absolute domination here by Fountain Central.
Yeah, J.D.'s one of the small kids on Fountain Central's team. You know, he's only 170 pounds, but when you have those young men blocking in front of you, he got touched not until he was at the goal line.
16-yard run there by J.D. Allen. He's the 3rd different player here for Fountain Central to get a rushing touchdown. We'll take another timeout. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you heard? Titmont and Wintech have joined forces to build a stunningly fast fiber optic internet service with no data caps and the best customer service from a company you know and trust. Sign up today and follow our progress at join.wintech.com.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
As we said before the break, utter domination here by Fountain Central over Attica here in this Wabash River Conference matchup here in Petersburg. Alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. 28-0 is your score. 4 rushing touchdowns by 3 different players here in this first quarter.
Well, obviously they're winning the line of scrimmage. They're getting their blockers downfield, and they have some very good ball carriers. On the flip side, you have Attica. Goris averages about 215 yards a game passing, and they've yet to complete a pass, and this is going to be their 5th drive.
So long kickoff this time going to be taken here by Rylan Farrell. Special teams have been one of the few bright spots here for Attica. They've been getting out past the 30-yard line for the most part, and that is exactly where they'll start at their own 34-yard line here for this next drive. They have yet to get a first down this evening.
Ramblers will take over at the 35-yard line.
And the Red Ramblers still in their own rebuilding process, as is Fountain Central. Head coach Tyler Allen has been saying that getting numbers for his program has been one thing that he's really had to work through here in this first year as the head coach of Attica. Here's Goris with a little bit of time, only briefly, before Eli Thompson busts through that O-line there of the Red Ramblers, and the pass falls incomplete.
Well, it's interesting, talking to Coach King earlier this week, they rotate between a multiple fronts, both a 3 and a 4 man. But if you notice in the last play, they had a 3-man front, but they brought 2 backers. So that's 5 on 5, and right now the 5 on the blue team is doing very well.
Indeed.
5 on the white team is struggling to hold him up.
Just to put that in perspective, again, as we mentioned, 4 sacks already tonight by this front line here of Fountain Central. And now make it 5 as Eli Thompson just throws Goris to the ground. And that'll be his 2nd sack of the night already.
Eli's a big boy, 6'2", 250, and Goris is outweighed by 100 pounds there, and he just tossed him to the ground like a little paper bag.
Loss of 10, 3rd down and 20.
They're still in the 3-man front.
Goris this time will just try to punch it up the gut, and he goes right into the chest plate.
So that's the first play. They only rushed 3. They didn't bring any blitzes. And what did he have, a second maybe?
Maybe 2 or something, I don't know. Yeah. But either way, he did not have a lot of time as he ran right into Ryan Mitchell that time, who is a freshman.
Now, Fountain Central has not done a very good job of catching a punt. Let's see if they can catch one here. Well, the last couple, 3 have just bounced.
High punt. And Fountain Central, again, just lets it go out to the 45-yard line. It almost feels like, Coach, that they are maybe just letting punts bounce on purpose here at this point as they start at about the 45-yard line.
47-yard line of the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I would imagine, based on what's transpired here in the first 8-9 minutes, they'll continue to run the ball.
At this point, yes. Already 28-0 here in the first quarter. Again, we still have another quarter of football to play here in this first half.
Looks like they have a backup running back in now.
They've been giving it to a handful of guys now, as once again it is J.D. Allen who gets the pitch, and he gets it across midfield before he's taken down at the 40-yard line. 27 yards on that carry.
Picks up enough yards for a Mustang first down.
Have they had a run that's less than a first down?
They have not. Every run that they have had so far here tonight has been for at least a first down. Their shortest run of the night so far here, Bob, 10 yards. They are moving the ball efficiently, are the Mustangs. Here's Allen again, right up the gut he goes, sheds off a tackler, gets right down into the red zone, and he's finally tackled inside the 10-yard line.
This next run will be less than 10 yards.
Yes, it will.
It
It has to be. So that'll break the streak, per se, here, as another excellent run here by J.D. Allen goes for 28 yards.
The linemen are doing a great job of creating nice holes and nice alleys for these kids to run through.
Allen goes up the gut, and he goes just short of the goal line. So that'll be a gain of 7. First run tonight, less than 10 yards, as you mentioned, Coach. And the clock will continue to run here. Allen again in the backfield. He gets the handoff from Foxworthy, and he goes right into the end zone, standing up for another touchdown, his second of the night. 5 touchdowns here in this first quarter.
Kind of just walked right in there, didn't he?
That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
And so again, on for the PAT. Here is Uriah Wildman. And it is through the uprights and good. 35-0 here in the first quarter. Let's take a look at that run here again.
Yeah, it's just a little off tackle.
And that
O-line from the 1 yard line, and he was barely touched.
The O-line was able to push the D-line well into the end zone to give Allen that leeway to get his second rushing touchdown of the evening. Again, Fountain Central, they have only allowed just 14 points in the last 2 games with wins over Riverton Park and Covington. Riverton Park right here in Petersburg and then on the road at Covington. Meanwhile, this is a team averaging 27.5 points per game, but they come off of a 43-6 win over Covington just a week ago as they continue play here in the Wabash River Conference.
Yeah, what's interesting about that comment, Kurt, is that the whole season they've only allowed 75 points, but over half those were against Southmont. So in the last 3 games, their defense, probably the level of competition has something to do with it, but still they've started to shut down people. And as you can see here, Attica, I don't believe, has a positive yard yet.
They don't have any positive yards on my stat sheet at the moment. Again, at the very beginning of the game, they had a positive run for 3 yards. That was a scramble by Goris. But ever since then, they have not been able to even get past their own line of scrimmage. It's a bouncing kick. And it's taken here up by Stamper, and he is tackled right at the 30-yard line.
Stamper on the return, brought down by Dawson Blue and Connor Paxton.
Well, if you notice on the Attica side, the kids are playing offense, defense, special teams. They only bring a couple kids in when the offense gets the ball, so they got to be a little bit tired right now.
So now Attica, they have been in plus territory before here tonight. That was off of a excellent kickoff return for the Red Ramblers, but they have not been able to get across the line of scrimmage until that particular play right there, it looks like. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage was Goris. So that'll be no gain on the play here, second down for the Ramblers.
So if you look at this spread formation, he's running, trips to this pass play was to the left side. Now it looks like it's going to be on the right side. But if I'm Attica, I got to, as soon as I catch the ball, I got to throw it to number 8, number 7, somebody. I just can't be looking downfield. Throw it now.
So here's Goris. He finally fires, and it is another interception. This time right into the hands of Brandon Pigg. And he gets that back to the 35-yard line. So
and then a little tackle frustration here by the Attica.
And so Brandon Pigg brings that back to the 36-yard line. And so 2 interceptions, no completed passes here so far for Dane Goris.
So Fountain has gone to a 3rd-string running back.
And so for the first time getting the carry is Lincoln Hoffa, who goes up the gut. And he gets close to the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 1 here.
I'm not sure Lincoln has carried the ball this year.
If he has, it has been very sparsely, to say the least. Again, Owen Acton already has 2 touchdowns tonight. J.D. Allen with 2 touchdowns and Dawson Blue with 1 as well. And so now Lincoln Hoffa getting a chance to get some varsity reps here, running the ball as he goes all the way through the line and down just past the 5-yard line, or rather the 10-yard line, excuse me. It's another first down here for Fountain Central. $12 yards on the carry. As we've ticked to the inside, the final minute here of what has been a first quarter to forget here if you're an Attica Red Rambler. Here's Hoffa. Tries to get to the outside and can't quite turn the corner, but he gains a couple yards on the play.
Brought down by
So you
Gross
can tell he's not run the ball very much.
and Schultz.
He cuts to the outside. If he stays in the alley, he's in the
Makes
end
it
zone.
second and about 2 for the Mustangs.
Still a solid gain here of about 6 yards. Here's Hoffa again, and he gets met in the backfield for the first time, but still he keeps his feet chugging, and he waltzes his way into the end zone for another touchdown here for Fountain Central.
Yeah, he stayed inside behind his blockers.
So Lincoln Hoffa, the senior running back here for the Mustangs, getting his first touchdown here of the night. And meeting him in the backfield there, just doing all he can, was Josiah Barnett there on the defensive line there for Attica, but couldn't quite bring him down.
Wildman's PAT is
And the
good.
PAT is good here for Fountain Central. 42 points here in the first quarter here, Coach, with only 5.5 seconds left to go here in the first. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
5.5 seconds left to go here in quarter number one, and needless to say, it has been sheer domination by Fountain Central. 42-0 already the score here as they lead Attica in this Wabash River Conference matchup. Alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. Bob, if you're Attica's head coach Tyler Allen, I mean, what do you do to just keep the morale up for your team here at this point? Being a coach yourself in sports all over here, and being in certain situations like this, what do you tell a team in this situation?
You just got to tell them you got to keep plugging, you got to keep fighting. Hopefully there are going to be better days ahead, but they need something positive to happen. Right now, the only two positive things they've had has been kickoff returns, and if I was coaching Attica, I would say, guys, we got to throw the ball quick. It's almost pitch and catch. It's like you're playing in the backyard, but this young man has no time to drop back, survey the field. Twice he's thrown over the middle. Twice he's had interceptions. But maybe just a quick little hitch to one of these youngsters out here. But they have to get some positive yardage. And you can see the way they're walking around. They're completely deflated. But my guys are down 42 points, and it's not even the end of the first quarter.
So Stamper with a good return right there. Gets it about past the 30-yard line. Here's Goris with that pass catch, and Acton picks it right out of the air, and he adds a pick six to the resume here for Fountain Central. And you talk about deflating there, Coach. Needless to say, Attica in a very tough spot here, down 48-0.
What's interesting, it looks like they're going to go for two.
At this point, they made.
I was impressed that Wildman, the place kicker, had made six extra points in a row. It looks like the refrigerator. It looks like number 74 is in the backfield.
Indeed, they do. That is going to be Andrew Mendoza, who's going to line up in the backfield here on this two-point conversion. He gets the handoff, and the big man goes right up the gut, tells a defender to get off me, and he's in for a two-point conversion.
I wonder if this is a senior that does not play very much.
He's already had a couple. Actually, he has a sack tonight already. Yes.
Yeah.
But you are right though.
He
He is not on the depth on top of the depth chart here for the Mustangs, but he's able to get in for a two-point conversion. End of the first quarter. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions, Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
Mulberry Telecommunications is proud to announce the next generation in awesome, Mintel TV. With the Mintel TV streaming app, you aren't confined to just your TV, but you need two things: high-speed fiber internet from Mulberry Telecommunications and a Mintel TV subscription. Available on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, and more, with features that include Cloud DVR, Restart TV, look back options, and pause live TV. Mintel TV is definitely the next generation of awesome. Current customers call 765-296-2885 for your free upgrade. New customers visit mintel.net to sign up today.
We're back in Vietersburg here on the ISC Sports Network alongside Bob Meslam. I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, we finally got into the second quarter, and that score on your screen is not a typo. It is 50-0. Fountain Central has just completely opened the floodgates here on an Attica team that, quite frankly, is just trying to find its identity, going through some rough waters here through this program. But needless to say, good night here for the Fountain Central Mustangs.
Oh, my goodness. I think every running play they've had has been at least first down, except the ones that were first and goal, and it's, you can't do that. They've had 3 or 4 kids score. They've returned an interception for a touchdown. They haven't met a whole lot of resistance, which is tough. It's tough. At this point, you feel bad for both teams. As a coach, it's hard to be in Fountain Central's coach's shoes, and it's hard to be in Attica's coach's shoes, because you don't plan for games like this in the preseason or postseason or offseason. You never think at the end of the first quarter you're going to be up 50-0. So it's probably uncharted territory for both coaches.
This is the most points already that Fountain Central has scored all season long, and they did it in 12 minutes of competition. Again, their previous record this year was against Covington with a 43-6 win. And so now Attica just going to try and do their best to salvage what they can here out of this one, as certainly you can expect many reserves to start getting a lot of action here for Fountain Central here in this second quarter. And you have players now like Dallas Hoagland in there, as well as John Carver on this front line for Fountain Central. So here's Goris. Has a little bit of time. He finally gets a pass completed to his wide receiver. That is Farrell, and he is good for about 8 yards.
Well, you mentioned some substitutions. Fountain Central was late getting a lineman on the field, so sometimes when you start substituting, people aren't sure if they're in or out.
And Luke Blankenship actually on the reception there for Attica. So it's good for 9 yards, 2nd down and 1 here for Attica.
I believe that's their longest play of the night.
It is. Here's Goris, again with some time. Steps up in the pocket, then has to step back out before he just heaves it incomplete outside the numbers. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Ramblers.
Well, hopefully for Attica's sake, they can convert this.
Of course, if you're Dane Goris, from just a confidence standpoint, I'm sure it does a little bit of something to at least see the ball hit his receiver on that previous play for a positive gain.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the quarterback run quarterback draw or something here. They only need, 1 yard?
They only need 1. It is 3rd down and 1. And here's the draw, as you mentioned, Coach, and it is a 1st down here for Attica.
Sometimes you guess right.
He gets tackled out of bounds, though. It's not clear if he was brought down inbounds. They stop the clock to move the chains, and now they run the clock again. So he was tackled inbounds, and the clock moves. That is the first down of the night here for Attica.
So with these trips to the right, Kurt, just a catch and a throw to one of these kids stepping backwards, but he's trying to take time.
And Goris Goes out to his left and looking downfield for his receiver, nearly picked off right there.
Royce's pass intended for Crowder is knocked down by Dawson.
Looks like that was Dawson Blue there on the coverage. He knocks it down. It'll bring up second down.
You know what? Dawson Blue should have had an interception there. He's a tight end. I think he has better hands than that, but that went right to his fingertips. If you notice the last few series, they're only rushing 3 guys. They have not been blitzing much at all. They have 7 players up there right now. Let's see how many they bring.
Goris again alone in the backfield. Fires to his outside. It's complete to his receiver for maybe a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. That is Tristan Miller, his 20th catch of the year.
That could have been Goris's best pass tonight.
Just a quick out right there to Miller.
He stepped into it, and the ball got there real quick.
Again, Goris. Despite the score right now, he leads Class 1A in passing this year with the amount that they throw. Goris fires downfield over the outstretched arms of Crowder, and it's incomplete. 4th down and 6 here for Attica.
Now on this drive, he's had a little bit more time, but if you notice, Fountain Central is rushing 3 guys, they're dropping 8. So the coverage is there now, but he's got a little bit more time.
So Attica looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 6 as the offense stays on the field. Goris with a little bit of time. He steps up, but he goes right into the outstretched arms there of Connor Paxton. And he is down for another sack here for Paxton, his 2nd of the night. And Fountain Central's take over here in plus territory, their first drive here of the 2nd quarter. In fact, that is the longest that the Fountain Central defense has been able to stay on the sideline. Granted, most of these team players play both ways, but still.
That was their first down, wasn't it?
It was their first down. The only first down of that drive was their first. And now a timeout's going to be taken here by Fountain Central.
I believe this timeout is to get some backups in the ball game. And you can see a mass substitution here. And I'm going to believe that these young men that have played the first quarter for Fountain Central might be finished for the night.
It certainly looks like a possibility. Tonight's game is brought to you by Tipmont, which has super fast fiber internet now available in parts of Montgomery and Fountain counties. Get started today at tipmont.com. And with that, looks like we are going to have a plethora of new players here in the ball game now for Fountain Central, which looks like it will also include Ace Hoffa in at quarterback, the freshman here for the first time here this ball game. And that is going to be...
And it looks like his brother, Lincoln, is the running back, who's a senior. So they have looks like the brothers are in the backfield, the Hoffa brothers. One's a freshman, one's a senior. So that's got to be a thrill for the parents sitting in the stands.
Definitely seeing both Hoffas. You also have Dakota Willoughby as well getting some minutes.
My guess is they're going to continue running the ball.
So Hoffa here on the late handoff, this time on the end around here to Paul Adams. So a lot of freshmen now getting some varsity minutes here for Herb King's squad, and he gets that out for an 8-yard gain.
This is what you work hard for practice for. You never know when your number's going to get called. So these kids are, I'm sure, excited. I'm sure they're nervous. I don't know how much some of these youngsters have played, but, you know, good for them for being ready to come in. And the first play, they gained 9 yards.
It's certainly meaningful for a lot of these players who are freshmen, who play a lot of JV. As the handoff this time, it goes to Willoughby, and that's good for a first down.
And I believe the lineman our backups as well. But you can see there was the same kind of hole. Attica's brought up 7-8 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run, but the line of scrimmage just keeps moving in Fountain Central's favor, and that's easy to run the ball when the line of scrimmage moves.
Handoff this time to Willoughby again. He gets to the outside before he is run down by the defensive unit there of Attica. That is Jackson Piper on the tackle there for the Red Ramblers.
Picks up about 8 yards, makes it 2nd and 2 for the Mustangs.
Well, it looks like the first couple sets of backfield for Fountain Central are all freshmen, so they should be good for a couple, 3 years.
Varsity reps certainly mean a lot. As Hoffa again hands the ball off to Willoughby. And he gets spun around as he crosses the 20-yard line for a pickup of 5 and another first down. And talking with Herb King this week, he said that for a while, Fountain Central was unable to field a JV team. Well, when I actually was going to call him on Monday, he was on the sidelines coaching a JV game here for Fountain Central because his offensive coordinator got sick. So he was out coaching JV football, which probably included a lot of these players now on the field here for Fountain Central. But it's been the first time in a while that they've been able to actually field a JV roster after having numbers problems in the program for many years.
And to his credit, he mentioned that some kids that didn't play last year that were disgruntled are back out playing this year. And he said it's made a world of difference for the depth on the team, the talent, and the morale of the team.
Willoughby again continues to be the main man here on this drive as he pushes forward. And it looks like he got about 3 yards on the play. 3rd down and 5 here.
Makes it 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs.
Again, Ace Hoffa, the backup quarterback, now in, along with the backup running back Dakota Willoughby, who gets close to the end zone. He's tackled just shy at about the 2-yard line. That's good for another first down.
Yeah, the right guard and right tackle did a nice job of getting to the next level and getting blocks on both the linemen and the linebackers, and the young man did a nice job of following down to the 1-yard line.
Timeout, Attica.
And then Attica's going to take their first timeout here of the evening to stop things up so they can discuss a few things. Again, Tyler Allen, the first-year head coach here for Attica, certainly has his work cut out for him, as you can see, to try and rebuild what has been an ailing program that dates back to 1907, which was their first official football season. And Attica has a long history of success in football. In fact, they had their best seasons back in 1999 and 2000 when they only lost 2 games between those seasons. They won 11 in 1999 and then 14 in 2000, which was anchored by a heck of a player by the name of Josh Smith, who scored 63 touchdowns that whole season for Attica en route to a state finals appearance.
I'm sure right now to these youngsters that seems like a long time ago.
23 years ago, to be exact, as they try to pick up the pieces now and keep on chugging. Attica has not won a game since the 2020 season. Willoughby again on the call, and he lowers his head and punches it into the end zone for another touchdown here for Fountain Central.
Not much resistance there, Kurt.
Again, he just punches it right up the gut as that drive certainly takes off some much-needed time here. As Fountain Central again adds on to their total. And the PAT is up and through the uprights. We'll take a timeout. Back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
WinTech, powered by Tipmont, is building the future in Battleground. We offer 3 easy and affordable packages with superior reliability, customer service, and no data caps. Get a free Roku when you sign up today at join.wintech.com.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this? Well, this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby-o. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today.
Well, the subs are in now here for Fountain Central as they lead 57-0 here through a quarter and a half of football here on the ISC Sports Network. Bob Meslam, Kurt Darling here with you. Again, special thanks to our ISC Sports Network crew here who has been doing an excellent job here bringing us tonight's game. Samwa, as well as Elijah Mash, our cameraman, and our director, Sean Walker. Coach, needless to say, you have your subs in now. If you're head coach Herb King here for Fountain Central, just keep on chugging here if you're Attica.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You know what? Sometimes in life it's hard, and for Attica right now it's very difficult. But hopefully the kids have the intestinal fortitude to keep plugging away and see what happens, because you just never know how it's going to turn out. Obviously, 57-0. You don't expect a big change here, but if they can at least keep a little bit of a positive mindset and maybe get a first down, maybe this time get 2 first downs and see what happens.
Kyler Stamper again with the return. They go outside to Stamper this time, his first catch of the night, and he gets pummeled right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
That's one of the quick passes I talked about. They maybe got a yard, but at least it was complete. And as you're a quarterback or receiver, just like in basketball, you like seeing the ball go through the basket, whether it's a layup or a free throw or a three-pointer, but when all you see is misses, it's hard to think about that.
Certainly many more passing plays as opposed to running plays here for Attica. Anytime they've run the ball, it has been on a broken play with Goris, who again goes to the air waiting for his opening. He pumps twice before he unloads it, and it goes right through the hands there of Cole Garbison. And it's incomplete.
Farrell was open just for a moment.
And again, it's a decently placed ball there by Goris, but just a little bit out of reach there for Rylan Farrell. And it's another third down here for Attica.
I'm not sure if Stamper, one of the leading receivers, with almost 80 yards a game, I'm not sure he's caught a ball yet.
Here's Goris, again waiting for some room, and he just throws it out of bounds as he was going outside and goes out of bounds there. So it'll be fourth down here, and Stamper does have 1 catch so far here tonight. That was for 0 yards. So it was for no gain on the play. But other than that, that has been the extent, Coach, that he has been involved in this game. Again, the leading receiver here for Attica with 314 yards coming into the night. So Attica going to punt the ball away here again to the Mustangs. And nobody back to return it here for Fountain Central. It'll be down just inside the 30-yard line for Fountain Central. In Fountain Central, they played their first football season back in 1965. After the School Consolidation Act had Veedersburg, Hillsborough, Kingsman, as well as Wallace High Schools absorb into one. They saw their best success back in the late 2000s, the 2009-2010 season in particular, when they made it to back-to-back state finals appearances, losing to Lafayette Central Catholic both times. Again, Ace Hoffa is your quarterback. He hands it off to a new ball carrier now, and that is Nolan Acton, who is the younger brother of Owen Acton, who is the star running back here for Fountain Central, and so the younger Acton getting some carries here right now.
You know, one of the toughest things for Fountain Central is figuring out who's on the field. You know, we have substitutions running in and out, and some people are not accustomed to playing with each other, but they just keep running the football with big holes.
Again, Nolan Acton, a sophomore wide receiver on the depth chart. He gets the run there on the jet sweep. Here's Willoughby. He has been the primary guy here, the freshman, the second quarter rather, as he gets tackled out of bounds.
As I mentioned earlier, these Fountain Central running backs, they're getting 8, 10, 12 yards before they're being touched.
An 11-yard gain right there by Willoughby is enough for another first down. Beautiful sunset here in Petersburg. And a cool, crisp night here in the low 70s. Hoffa again with the handoff to Willoughby, and he doesn't get a whole lot there, but still falls forward across the 40-yard line for maybe a gain of about 4.
You can see in the last couple 3 series, the line of scrimmage doesn't move as far as it did in the beginning, because they have their second and maybe possibly some of the third team linemen in there, but they're still getting 3, 4, 5. What do you get? 3 yards that play?
He got about 4 yards there. But so far, every player on the roster here for the Mustangs has been able to get in for some meaningful snaps here, as Nolan Acton will juggle the handoff, and actually on the carry there was Callum Wills. He gets his first carry. He is a freshman tight end and defensive lineman here for the Mustangs.
That's the second time on this drive they've run that same play, and both times they've kind of fumbled the handoff.
Again, these players, it's probably the first time that they have seen any meaningful varsity minutes here this season for Fountain Central. And the hard count nearly gets Attica offsides. As the quick handoff here goes to Willoughby. He tries to turn the corner and again gets tackled out of bounds.
Willoughby on the carry. Brought down by Gross.
And if you're Dakota Willoughby as a freshman, you're certainly loving this opportunity to get several carries here midway through the game.
At the Rambler 23-yard line.
I believe on every play on this drive, they've run to the left side, whether it's been a counter, halfback around in, but every play has been to the left side. And they station that wing back right there.
And on an interesting play right here, this time they give the handoff to Paul Adams, his second carry of the night. And this time they go to the right side as they get inside the 20-yard line.
Another wholesale change for him, substitution.
And now it looks like you have some varsity players coming back in, including Dawson Blue. And now it's actually going to be a field goal. This will be the first field goal attempted all season long right here for Uriah Wildman. It's only 2nd down and 3. And the straight line kicker puts it through the uprights, and it is good. No, it's actually going to be off to the right there. It looked like it was good from that angle, but just off of the right side and no good there for Uriah Wildman. So the drive comes to an end right there by Fountain Central. And Attica will take over deep in their own territory.
Interesting call by Coach King on 2nd down. And maybe, he wanted to see if his field goal kicker could make it from see, that would have been about 38 yard or something like that.
About a 35, 38-yard field goal somewhere here and there.
Maybe sometime down the road they'll need that.
Of course, I made the observation off air with you, Coach. He's a straight line kicker. You don't see a whole lot of that anymore in the game.
No.
So here's Goris. Goes to the outside, and Stamper can't quite make the catch right there. J.D. Allen on the coverage.
Gorsu's pass to Miller is complete.
So again, Goris has only completed 2 passes tonight for 12 yards. He also has 2 interceptions.
Incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 10.
Just past the 8 o'clock hour here in central Fountain County. Goris again looking to his left. This time he has his receiver. That time it is Blankenship. And he's able to at least turn it upfield to gain a little bit, and he's close to a first down.
He's getting a little bit more time. Like I said a couple series ago, they're only rushing 3 folks. He can see the field a little better. You know, he's not a big kid. You know, he's only 5'9", and
for the Ramblers.
he has to find his windows to be able to throw the ball.
And a timeout here on the field. It's actually an injury timeout. We have a player down at about the 20-yard line for Attica, it appears. And so while we have a moment, again, tonight's game brought to you by Tipmont, which has super fast fiber internet now available in parts of Montgomery and Fountain counties. Get started today at tipmont.com. Once again, he's Bob Maslam. I'm Kurt Darling. It's just been utter domination here by Coach Herb King's squad for Fountain Central. And we talked about this at the beginning of the game here, Coach, about how Herb King, he is so far coached at least 6 different programs in his 33 years as a head coach. And it is certainly impressive about how he takes the mantra of being literally a traveling rebuilder. He goes around and basically has been to all these different programs that he has been to, such as Seeger, North Putnam, as well as Rockville, and he hasn't stayed very long. He only goes to rebuild the program enough to be able to get it on its feet, and then he goes somewhere else and does the exact same thing again.
Yeah, it's kind of like an entrepreneur. You know, he wants to go start a company and then hand it off to somebody else, and then go start another company. So he's done the same thing in coaching, and to his credit, wherever he's been able to turn around these programs. Sometimes it takes him a few more years, but look what he's done to this program in only his 2nd year. I think the first year they were 4-7. This year they've only lost once to Southmont, which was a really good ball club. And so now, you know, who knows how long he'll stay here, but you know, kudos to him for having the wherewithal to go into places that don't look pretty and go, hey, this is what I'm here for, is to help turn this around, hand it off somebody, and then go to the next stop.
In fact, the longest place that he's been at is, in fact, Rockville, where he spent, I believe, at least maybe 10 or 12 seasons. And in doing so, it led them to a couple of really decent seasons where they only lost 1 game, and in one case, they won a semi-state championship before losing in the state finals. But still, nevertheless, he has seen a lot of success in everywhere he's gone. He has won 196 games in his time as a head coach here in Indiana, and he's also rebuilt 1 program in Illinois as well. He has gone across the border to do some coaching over there as well back in the 1990s.
Well, it's interesting. He has his freshman quarterback in a safety right now, Foxworthy.
Again, trying a few different things here around. They are, as Foxworthy is the backup quarterback for Cole Garbison on the depth chart here for Fountain Central, as Attica is able to get that across midfield, and that was a rare running play right here for Goris, who goes up the middle for a first down.
Yeah, I think both of at least 2 of their first downs have been on quarterback draws.
So that's a 9-yard gain and a first down. Goris again back to throw. He goes to the outside and has his receiver for a gain of about 6 yards. And that is Blankenship again.
Blankenship picked up about
You notice his couple completions on this drive have been short, quick passes. It's been pitch and catch. But it helps when Fountain Central has not been blitzing.
Again, Fountain Central with a lot of backup players here now in the action here. Nolan Acton in particular, number 10. He is now in at cornerback, who is listed as the second player behind Isaac Gaylor in that regard. As Goris has a lot of time on that pass there, and he gets it again to his man across the middle and to the right side, and it's complete to Rylan Farrell. And that'll be good for a first down across midfield.
After picking up a first down for the Ramblers.
So that's about an 11-yard patch and catch right there. That's the longest play of the day for Attica. Goris again looking downfield. And he has his man, and they're going to be able to get into the end zone to at least avoid the shutout right there. A nice pitch and catch right there to Dallas Bartlett. Actually, that's Caleb Crowder, excuse me, on the catch. And that is good for 48 yards there for Dane Goris.
Yeah, that was a nice route, nice pass, and unfortunately for Fountain Central, they let the receiver get behind him, and
so looks like it's going to be a 2-point conversion here, as Attica doesn't exactly have a PAT kicker to speak of on the roster, so they will go for 2.
I'm going to go with a quarterback draw. What do you think? He only needs a couple yards.
Sounds like a reasonable play call here, as Goris again gets swarmed.
Yeah.
And it will be a no conversion there, as we'll take a look at the replay here on this passing play here, the longest play of the day here for Attica. Again, Crowder just breaking the coverage right there, getting past J.D. Allen.
Fans, please be advised that the campus of Fountain Central High School is a tobacco.
So there you go, as Attica able to at least avoid the shutout. They get 6 points on the board. Much needed 6 points here with about 30 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2.
What's surprising about that is J.D. Allen is a starting free safety. So, there's a few starters still in the ball game, but for that was a very nice long pass play by Attica. J.D. is a running back, defensive back, but he let that young man get behind him.
Indeed he did, and Caleb Crowder is a backup wide receiver on the depth chart, in for Grayson Skeels, who is not active tonight here for Attica.
Even though they're ahead 57-6, Coach King is not going to be pleased with a starting free safety allowing a backup receiver, any receiver, to get behind you like that.
There's still things to work on if you are a varsity player here in this particular situation.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to work on them when you're up 57-6.
Certainly not as much pressure being felt in game time decisions.
No.
So Attica coming up here for yet another kickoff.
As Keith called the kickoff, Dawson Blue is deep.
And again, it'll be Dawson Blue back to return it here. He is one of the main returners, along with Owen Acton and Dakota Willoughby. So it'll be a short little kick here, and it's taken up front here by Allen, and he gets that back to the 45-yard line. J.D. Allen, though, in spite of that miscue on defense, has certainly had a heck of a night. He has 2 rushing touchdowns on offense.
He took a hit there.
And he is down on the field now. And that's
his teammates are calling for the trainer to come out.
That's certainly not a welcome sight, especially in this particular situation. You have a huge lead, and one of your varsity players goes down with an injury here. You see Coach King out there checking on his player as they look to patch him up here at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, if we can take a look at that again, he at the point of contact, his body got at a very, very different angle, if you will, and you could just tell the young man
And it's certainly not good right here for J.D. Allen as he has to be helped off of the field. He is unable to put a whole lot of weight on his right knee. And so it's good to see he's at least able to walk off the field, but certainly his night is most likely done here for Fountain Central. So a quick hydration break here for both teams with about 24 seconds left to go here in quarter number 2. Again, it's homecoming here at Fountain Central tonight. A lot of alumni back.
I would see Fountain Central taking a knee and going in the locker room.
That would certainly be the idea here as, again, it's been IHSAA as the quarterback for the majority here of this second quarter. It was Eli Foxworthy, the starter, who played the majority of the first quarter, where the majority of the points were scored by the Mustangs. And so Hoffa is under center, and he will take a knee and run out the clock, which should take things to halftime here in this one. It has been a shellacking, to say the least, here by the Fountain Central Mustangs. They lead 57-6 here on homecoming in Wabash River Conference action, Coach.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Attica credit. Their players were running off the field. They're behind 57-6. That's the culture of the program that Coach Allen is trying to achieve. But, it would have been very easy for those young men to just walk off with their helmets in their hand. But all their helmets were on. They ran off the field. So kudos to the Attica young men and the coach for showing that type of attitude at halftime.
And then halftime is certainly what it is here at the moment. We'll take a timeout. Halftime show coming up next right here on the ISC Sports Network. A good night for high school football.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Have you heard? Tipmont and Wintech have joined forces to build a stunningly fast fiber optic internet service with no data caps and the best customer service from a company you know and trust. Sign up today and follow our progress at join.wintech.com.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't: give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
Mulberry Telecommunications is proud to announce the next generation in awesome, Mintel TV. With the Mintel TV streaming app, you aren't confined to just your TV, but you need 2 things: high-speed fiber internet from Mulberry Telecommunications and a Mintel TV subscription. Available on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, and more, with features that include Cloud DVR, Restart TV, look-back options, and pause live TV. Mintel TV is definitely the next generation of awesome. Current customers, call 765-296-2885 for your free upgrade. New customers, visit Mintel.net to sign up today.
Wintech, powered by Tipmont, is building the future in Battleground. We offer 3 easy and affordable packages with superior reliability, customer service, and no data caps. Get a free Roku when you sign up today at join.wintech.com.
Well, it's certainly a good night for Fountain Central. They are on top 57-6 here on homecoming night in Petersburg here on the ISC Sports Network. And so as we take a look at some interesting floats being brought out here by each of the classes, we will go ahead and throw it to the public address for the homecoming festivities here at Fountain Central. Stay tuned right here on the ISC Sports Network.
The freshman class sponsors are Mr. Garbison and Miss Grubbs. Wreck the Ramblers. The third float tonight is our sophomore float. The sophomore class sponsor this year is Mrs. Acton and Mrs. Hoagland. The sophomores are roasting the Ramblers. Next, we have our junior float. Our junior class homecoming float sponsors are Mrs. Depew and Mrs. Frazee. The junior class is wrecking the Ramblers. And last but not least, the class of 2024's float. The senior class sponsors are Mrs. Foxworthy and Mrs. Yeager. Seniors are going to rob the Mustangs. Sorry, the seniors are going to rob the Ramblers. Let's give a nice round of applause for this year's homecoming floats. The kids and sponsors have put a lot of work into these awesome floats. The winner of the float competition this year is the junior class. Now we'd like to introduce the 2023 Fall Homecoming Court. Freshman attendants are Madison Payne and Paul Adams. Madison is the daughter of Jessica and Kevin Payne. She is involved in the Sunshine Club and the Music Boosters. Madison is also a member of the Honor Band and Spanish Club. Recently, Madison helped build raised garden beds for the Community Action Program. In the future, Madison would like to become a livestock veterinarian. This evening, Madison is escorted by Paul Adams. Paul is the son of Aaron and Mary Jo Adams. He's on the football, basketball, and baseball teams. Paul is also a member of FFA and FCA. He is active in 4-H and junior leaders. In the future, Paul would like to attend Purdue University to study agronomy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Madison Payne and Mr. Paul Adams. Our sophomore attendants are Mackenzie Lewis and Nolan Acton. Mackenzie is the daughter of Jason and Jackie Lewis. She's on the volleyball team, a member of the Spanish club, and student council. In the future, Kinsey plans to attend Indiana University to become a radiology technician. This evening, Mackenzie is escorted by Nolan Acton. Nolan is the son of Adam and Allison Acton. He's on the football, basketball, and baseball teams. Nolan attends Sterling Christian Church and is active in Fountain County 4-H. His future plans are undecided at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mackenzie Lewis and Mr. Nolan Acton. Our junior class attendants are Braylee Hoagland and Brandon Pigg. Braylee is the daughter of Adam and Shannon Hoagland. She's a member of the Spanish Club, National Honor Society, Student Council, and FCA. Braylee is also on the cross-country, basketball, and track teams. Braylee is a member of Sterling Christian Church, and her future plans include going into sports management. This evening, Braylee is escorted by Brandon Pigg. Brandon is the son of Curtis and Kelly Pigg. Brandon plays football, wrestles, and is a member of the track team. He is also an active member of Fountain County 4-H. In the future, Brandon would like to become a state trooper. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Braylee Hoagland and Mr. Brandon Pigg. And now for the 2023 Fall Homecoming Queen and King candidates. Our first candidates are Caitlin Brown, escorted by Hayden Clare. Caitlin is the daughter of Eric and Amanda Brown. She is the captain of the volleyball team and on the basketball and softball teams. Caitlin is in her second year of the Education Professions Vocational Program. Caitlin is active in Fountain County 4-H and volunteers with youth softball and basketball clinics. After graduation, she plans to attend Indiana State University to study education. Caitlin would like to return to Fountain Central and teach in the community she grew up in. Tonight, Caitlin is escorted by Hayden Clare. Tonight, Caitlin is escorted by Hayden Clare. Hayden is the son of Jill Clare and Ryan Clare. He's on the cross-country and track team as well as the swim team. Hayden participates with the youth group at Sterling Christian Church and plays in the band on Sunday mornings. After graduation, Hayden plans to attend college for aircraft maintenance. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Caitlin Brown and Mr. Hayden Clare. Our next candidates are Kendall Eberly and Braden Prickett. On the field, we have Paul Adams and Madison Payne, Mackenzie Lewis and Nolan Acton, Brayley Hoagland and Brandon Pigg, Caitlin Brown and Hayden Clare. The next King and Queen candidates, Kendall Eberly and Braden Prickett. Kendall is the daughter of Jason and Kim Eberly. She is a member of the tennis team and cheer squad. Kendall is a part of the Spanish Club and the Mustang Maniacs. She attends the New Century Church and is active in Fountain County 4-H. After graduation, Kendall plans to attend Ball State University to study family and child development to become a child life specialist. This evening, Kendall is escorted by Braden Prickett. Braden is the son of Tim and Misty Prickett. He plays tennis, basketball, and baseball. Braden is a member of National Honor Society and the Spanish Club. After graduating in May, Braden plans to attend Butler University to study pathology. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kendall Eberly and Mr. Braden Prickett. Next candidates are Morgan Brown and Julio Mendoza, or Dozer. Morgan is the daughter of Heather and Chad Brown. She's a lifeguard for the school, a varsity cheerleader, and a class of 2024 treasurer. Morgan is an active member for senior citizens who need help gardening, moving furniture, and cleaning houses. After graduating in May, Morgan plans to enlist in the Navy to be a flight medic. She would like to attend college afterwards to become a nurse practitioner. Tonight, Morgan is escorted by Julio Mendoza. Dozer is the son of Veronica Mendoza. He's on a football and wrestling team. Dozer volunteers with youth football and helps translate. After graduation, Dozer would like to pursue a career with the DEA. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Morgan Brown and Mr. Julio Dozer Mendoza. Our next candidates are Haley Webb and Tayden Dahl. Haley is the daughter of Chris and Krista Webb. She's a member of the tennis and swim team. Haley is also a part of the National Honor Society and the Spanish Club. She also participates in Math Bowl. Haley helps at Sterling Christian Church as a preschool teacher, volunteers with tennis camps, and helps with the backpack program. Haley plans to attend Indiana State University to become a children's speech therapist after graduation. This evening, Haley is escorted by Tayden Dahl. Tayden is the son of Aaron Adams and Stephen Dahl. He runs cross country and plays on the baseball team. Tayden is also a member of the Spanish Club and Sterling Christian Church. After graduation, Tayden would like to work in carpentry. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Haley Webb and Mr. Tayden Dahl. Our final set of candidates are Tiffany Bolin and Waylon Frazee. Tiffany is the daughter of Jennifer and John Bolin. She's a member of the Art Club and in her second year of the Educational Professions Vocational Program. Tiffany is a wrestling manager, and she volunteers at the Autism Center in Crawfordsville. This evening, Tiffany is escorted by Waylon Frazee. After graduation, Tiffany plans to attend Ball State University to become an applied behavioral analyst and work with those with special needs. This evening, Tiffany is escorted by Waylon Frazee. Waylon is the son of Wade and Sue Frazee. He's on the wrestling team and a member of the FFA. Waylon also helps with the recycling program at FCHS. Waylon volunteers with the backpack program, youth wrestling, and VBS in Waynetown. Waylon's future goals include finishing top 8 wrestlers this season. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tiffany Boland and Mr. Waylon Frazee. We would now like to welcome back our 2022 Fall Homecoming royalty. Our 2022 Fall Homecoming Queen is Miss Marilee Munoz. Marilee is currently attending Indiana University, majoring in kinesiology and minoring in business. Our 2022 Fall Homecoming King is Mr. Luke Foxworthy. Luke is currently attending Indiana State University, majoring in professional flight. Now for that moment you've all been waiting for. Your 2023 Fall Homecoming King is Dozer. Julio Mendoza. The 2023 Fall Homecoming Queen is Morgan Brown. Congratulations, Julio and Morgan. Let's give a round of applause to all of our court and candidates.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby, yo. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Have you heard? Titmont and Wintech have joined forces to build a stunningly fast fiber optic internet service with no data caps and the best customer service from a company you know and trust. Sign up today and follow our progress at join.wintech.com.
Hope you enjoyed the homecoming festivities here at Fountain Central High School here in Veedersburg, Indiana. It is halftime here on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Bob Eslam, I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, let's get right into some halftime highlights here because it was certainly mostly in favor of Fountain Central as they had a heck of a time just getting
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek,
on offense.
Yeah, as you can see here, there's a lot of running room. I think this is the first play from scrimmage. This might have even been the kickoff.
This was the opening kickoff from J.D. Allen, who was able to set up what would be only a one-play drive right here to open things up for Fountain Central to get this first touchdown of the half.
Yeah, I think in the first quarter especially, every time Fountain Central ran the football, it was a first down at least. And the first time it was not is when they had a first and goal.
Halftime highlights brought to you by Titmont.com, as Owen Acton certainly had a lot of highlights in that first quarter. That was the majority of the scoring, Coach, where, of course, Acton now the running back who was the quarterback a season ago. As you see, he already had a handful of carries early on to get a couple touchdowns to his credit. And again, they just kept on coming here for Fountain Central, as this was a big run by Dawson Blue to get the second touchdown of the day.
Yeah, there were a lot of holes everywhere, and this Goris did not have much time to throw. Early on, they blitzed a lot, then they went to a three-man front, which gave me a little bit more time. But this is a phenomenal run by this young man here, and he was able to stay in bounds, tightrope, and dive for the end zone, and the ball hit the pylon, which was a touchdown. That was a very, very nice run by that young man.
He kept on that tightrope right there, did Owen Acton, to get another touchdown to make it 21-0 at this juncture. And same old there for Acton, for Attica, as they just could not get out of their own backfield. J.D. Allen able to turn the corner and get his first touchdown of 2 on the night. And again, this would be the other one that he would score standing up. Of course, unfortunately, he would have to exit the game late in the second quarter with a knee injury. And again, another interception right there. In fact, at that juncture, Coach, Attica had not completed a pass until they had 3 interceptions already there for Owen Acton, but taken by Owen Acton for a pick 6 on the night. Until finally, Attica was able to get a little bit of rhythm going through the air, but still, nevertheless, Fountain Central just kept pouring it on defense, but still, they finally found their groove a little bit on offense. That was the first completion of the night there for Attica.
Yeah, he got a little bit more time, and then he was able to play pitch and catch, and then a couple plays later, dropped back and got behind the free safety and scored a touchdown. But as you can see here, the backup running backs for Fountain Central are still getting yardage. They're walking into the end zone.
And that is Dakota Willoughby, who got the majority of the carries late in the second quarter. And then there was a bright spot on offense here for Attica, as Caleb Crowder was able to get behind the defense to get a big touchdown pass there for 48 yards from Dane Goris. Again, your halftime brought to you by Titmont Super Fast Fiber Internet, which is at your fingertips with Titmont. Find out about services that they provide and that are available, and if they are available at your address at Titmont.com. Again, alongside Bob Messlem, I'm Kurt Darling. The good thing here, Coach, about this particular game now, it is a running clock from now until the end of the ball game.
Yes, the association implemented this in both basketball and football. I don't know what other sports a few years ago, and you know what? It's tough on the kids. It's tough on the coaches. But you know, when you see something like this, I think it's a good preventative measure for both teams. I know the kids want to play and coaches want to coach, but still, when you see something like this, you don't want to get out of hand. You know, you see some of the scores from across the country where teams are in triple digits in football and basketball and stuff like that. It's not fun to be a part of that environment. So you just try to stay out of the paper.
Indeed you do, as Attica will start the second half with the football, and that is Braden Watkins on the return. And now the clock continues to run. It will stop between the touchdowns as well as for timeouts. Other than that, even if the ball is incomplete or run out of bounds, the clock will remain in motion. Still a pretty big accomplishment for Fountain Central in that first half, Coach. 399 yards rushing on the ground, spread among several different backs for this Mustang squad.
Well, the line did a phenomenal job of opening up holes, and the backs got in there, and a lot of their runs, they were 10, 12, 15 yards downfield before anybody touched them.
And now we have a whistle, and looked like it might have been a fumbled snap right there, but we have a flag before the snap was taken, and it's going to be a false start here against Attica, so that will back them up 5 yards, which, believe it or not, Coach, that's actually a pretty good penalty if you're Attica, because it looked like they fumbled the snap there, but it was a false start.
Yeah, it's tough to come out and run the first play of the second half, and you're in motion, and then you fumble the snap. And I tell you what, the easiest job here in the second half is the clock operator.
You don't have to stop it at all, except for a timeout and for a score. So here's Goris. He's going to tuck it and run, and he gets out to about the 39-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, I don't believe Fountain Central has any starters in the game right now.
The only starter I believe that I can see out there right now on my lineup is Connor Paxton, number 59. He is the starting nose tackle. Other than that, you have pretty much all second-team players in the game at the moment for Fountain Central. Goris with plenty of time to throw and has his man. That was Caleb Crowder on the catch. He had that big touchdown grab for Attica late in the second quarter.
Yeah, if you notice there, he had a lot of time. They have second, third stringers in there, but they're only rushing 3 now. So they're dropping 8 in coverage, and good for him for being able to stand back there and find a receiver. And we'll see what happens here on third and short, I guess third and 4.
A couple of the other players in right now, Uriah Wildman, who's also the kicker for the Mustangs, as well as Michael Gott. And that is a pass out to Kyler Stamper, and he drops that one. Frustrating night for Stamper. He hasn't really been able to get downfield or make any impacts in the passing game. That's his 3rd drop tonight.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he's averaging almost 80 yards a game in receptions, and I think he's caught maybe 1 tonight.
At least 1.
Yeah.
By my unofficial stat sheet. 4th down here for Attica. Goris fires to his left side and out of the reach of his receiver, Luke Blankenship. And so that'll be a turnover on downs. And in plus territory here for Fountain Central again. Clock continues to roll here in the 3rd quarter. A running clock rule in effect. So this game should be over probably within the next half hour or so. Of course, Ace Hoffa has gotten the majority of the snaps here tonight. Of course, the starting quarterback, a fellow freshman, Eli Foxworthy, had a lot of development in 8th grade and is now taking on the starting role here for this Fountain Central squad. He was done at the end of the 1st quarter when it was a 42-0 score going in to the 2nd quarter in that 1st half. So it has been Ace Hoffa getting a lot of meaningful reps here on offense here at quarterback.
Seems like one of their pet plays is this end around with an inside handoff. But they pull a couple kids and they run it in the alley. But it looks like it's a misdirection. They've had a lot of success with it with 1st team, 2nd team, and 3rd team.
Hoffa again will give it off to Dakota Willoughby, who is the running back who has gotten a lot of meaningful reps as well as a freshman, and he gets a 1st down across the 30-yard line. About a 13-yard gain there by Willoughby, who again himself is approaching 100 yards rushing as a freshman in his. Again, he's a player that plays a lot of JV here for Fountain Central, and now getting the call up here for some varsity minutes. Over 400 yards rushing tonight here for Fountain Central. Here's Willoughby again. And he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. He may have squeezed out a yard on that play.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Rylan Farrell on that. he was able to get the jersey, not the face mask, not a horse collar, and guy held him to, I guess, maybe a yard or so. But that's one of the better plays they've had on defense tonight.
1 yard gain. And this time it's going to be Hoffa on the keeper.
Hoffa on the keeper gets it back to about the line of scrimmage, makes it 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and it's nice. Stamper made a nice tackle, so he's not letting his drops on offense affect him on defense. So they've had back-to-back tackles. I think that's the first time all night we've seen a 3rd and 9.
Certainly the longest third down that Fountain Central has faced all night long. And on the sweep this time, it'll be Callum Wills. And he's able to dart forward for a solid gain.
That's that same misdirection handoff to the tight end that's worked so well and continues to do good things for them.
And that is good for a first down. So Attica certainly had a interesting start to the season. They had to pick up a different opponent in Finneytown, Ohio, which was a 28-0 shutout in favor of Finneytown as Hoffa gets close to the end zone. He's down to the 5-yard line before he's pushed backwards. But their original opening season opponent was actually going to be Traders Point Christian. Well, Traders Point decided to make the decision late in the offseason to move to 8-man football. So Attica was down an opponent. So they quickly had to scramble to try and find somebody, and they did in Finneytown, Ohio, which was their opening loss on the season.
Once again, second down field goal. I think they're trying to give this. Oh, it's blocked.
And that one is blocked. It's going to be picked up here by Attica. So the second field goal attempt here by Uriah Wildman doesn't quite go as planned, and it'll be a turnover back to Attica.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to give Coach King some food for thought down the road. When they get in a game where they're going to need a field goal, so far they're 0 for 2. One, I believe, was wide right, and one was blocked. And in both situations, it wasn't smooth. You know, people were coming around the edges, but, you know, it's a game where sometimes kids lose concentration. You're up 50 points. But I'm guessing down the road when he needs a field goal, it's going to go in the back of his mind. If it's 4th and 2, I might go for it.
And it is certainly food for thought, as you mentioned there. Goris to the outside, and Stamper comes away with the completion. But you mentioned that particular one right there. I was actually preparing for a Carroll game a week ago, and talking to their head coach, they were talking about how it came down to Carroll and Sheridan in the sectional final last year, and they had to kick a field goal to win the game because there was no time left on the clock, and they were kicking it into a stiff wind. Well, that's the thing. Carroll doesn't kick a lot of field goals, so they had to have a unique preparation, to say the least, to at least be in that situation, as a long pass goes right through the arms and incomplete there, looking for Ryler Farrell. But you mentioned it right there. Sometimes, even if you're not a team that kicks a lot of field goals, you should at least have an understanding right there in your arsenal should you need it at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Coach King goes through these situations in practice where, you know, a few seconds left on the clock, no timeouts. They run the team out there and try to kick and see what happens. But right now they're 0 for 2 in field goal. That's about the only thing they haven't done well tonight.
3rd down and 2 here. Goris will try to tuck it and run to pick up the first down, and it looks like he does.
I don't know. Oh, I guess so. They gave him a good spot. Good eyes.
So first down here, again, running clock implemented here.
I think that referee marked it with his left foot, not his right foot. There you go. They got the first down.
Again, Goris to pass. Goes outside to Crowder, and he's good for about a 6-yard gain.
See, I would have thought early in the game, because he was getting pressured so much, see how that pass, that was maybe a catch and a throw, maybe a second or two max. But early on, he waited, tried to look downfield, threw into coverage, got sacked. But then again, you know, I wasn't part of their game plan. But it looks a little bit easier against second, third teamers.
Inside the final minute here in quarter number 3. Goris again to throw. Long downfield, has his man open and out of the reach of what appears to be Rylan Farrell. And he's not happy with him. And in fact, it looked like he maybe have gotten a little hurt there on that one as he hit the ground pretty hard there going for that catch.
That's the second time they've gotten back behind the secondary. The first time they caught it and had a touchdown, but that one was a little bit overthrown.
Take a look at this one again real quick. Again, just outside, and took a pretty hard spill there on his stomach there to the end. Final play here of the third quarter. Goris over the middle, has Crowder. That's good for a first down. A nice pitch and catch across the 35-yard line, which will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Fourth and final quarter here of this blowout by Fountain Central. They lead Attica 57-6 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey there, I'm Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
Derek, do you know what we do not have in common with Ted Lasso?
What's that, Jake?
We made it beyond 3 seasons.
Oh, we're going to make it like 30, 40, 50 seasons. As long as your heart holds out, that is. Query and Schultz every Tuesday night. You can watch it right here on the ISC Sports Network, on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, podcast, whatever it is. Just call it whatever you want.
Twitter doesn't exist.
Just make sure Tuesday nights, Query and Schultz, 7:30, all season long right here on the ISC Sports Network.
We outlasted Twitter.
We did.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Tipmont. Super fast fiber internet is at your fingertips with Tipmont. Find out if service is available at your address at tipmont.com. Alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling. Into the fourth and final quarter here of this one. It has been all Fountain Central from the very beginning. It was 42-0 at the end of the first quarter. And Fountain Central has continued to be able to pound it on throughout the rest of this game, even with some subs in the ball game. Meanwhile, Dane Goris keeps going through the air. He goes downfield. It's tipped up and falls incomplete, trying to get it out there to Rylan Farrell once again. Farrell has certainly had a slow night tonight. Has only caught a handful of passes. And that is yet another incompletion here for Dane Goris. Goris was and still is the leading passer here for Fountain Central in Class 1A. And now Goris again in second down. And now he fumbles the ball out of his hands. He picks it up and has to run with it. And he gets tackled out of bounds.
And it is tackled by Lopez after a loss of about 5 yards. Makes it third.
That's about a loss of 5 yards there on that little miscue.
He just kind of fumbled that.
Just kind of lost it out of bounds there and trying to look downfield. Again, running clock here with just over 10 minutes left to go here in this one. Pressure here for Goris, and he just gets out of the pocket and throws it out of play.
Is incomplete.
This kid's going to see a lot of blue tonight. He's going to see a lot of blue. He's going to dream about blue. But
Yes.
to his credit, he's kept plugging away, and we'll see if he can complete here. It's 4th and 15.
And they're going to go for it. inside the 40-yard line at the 39 to be precise.
I would look for number 7 or 8 down here on the bottom.
And they're going to get a rare flag here in this one. Fountain Central gets dinged for encroachment right there, so that'll give Attica a free 5 yards here.
I think we've had 2 penalties. What, a false start and an offside?
I have, by my count, 3 official penalties tonight for both of these teams. 2 on Attica, 1 on Fountain Central. So Fountain Central, as Goris takes the snap, goes over the middle, and Farrell with the catch across, and he stays on his feet, keeps going, trying to fight to the end zone before he gets shoved out of bounds. An excellent effort there by Farrell, as he had Paul Adams all over him on that particular play.
Yeah, that was a nice effort by that young man.
Makes it first and goal for the Ramblers.
21 yards on that pass and catch. First and goal here for Attica.
Very nice pass by the quarterback.
Nice route as well there by Rylan Farrell. And just kept it going.
Quarterback draw. It's worked before.
Here's Goris looking to the end zone. And on his knees making the catch in the end zone is Blankenship for the touchdown. Actually, that's Rylan Farrell.
Yeah, he was the one that just made that other reception as well. So that penalty helped him.
So Farrell's first touchdown of the night. Goris' second on the evening. And they're going to go for a 2-point conversion. And again, the clock is still running.
That still pisses me off. Someone needs to go talk to him. That's just unsportsmanlike.
And so the crowd, and so the clock continues to run here.
I'm going to go down there. I'd probably get in trouble for like intimidation. You think?
And so Goris tries to get inside there on the 2-point conversion, but it does not happen. So now the clock stops here between scores. Again, the only time you see the clock stop here for a running clock. We'll take a timeout, though, back in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Power. We all want it. We all need it. It not only lights our homes, but it drives our businesses. It strengthens our communities. It empowers us to make our own decisions. Today, we're giving power to more than 22,000 members. We're a homegrown, locally based cooperative that does something the big electric companies won't. Give safe, affordable, and reliable power to rural communities. We're Tipmont REMC, and our members have the power.
57-12 here on the ISC Sports Network. Fountain Central has dominated this game against the Attica Red Ramblers. Alongside Bob Meslam, I'm Kurt Darling, as Fountain Central now putting this game relatively behind them. They get ready for a tough matchup against Seeger next week. That will be 2 teams battling for the top of the Wabash River Conference. It's also Coach Herb King's former team that he coached and helped rebuild there for a while. That'll be a good one to look forward to here if you're Fountain Central, and this is certainly a good result here, good momentum to build in for a good game next week for them.
Yeah, the tough thing for Fountain Central, even though they're up 57-12, is they probably didn't learn a lot tonight. You're going to watch this film, maybe not. What are you going to glean from it? The one thing they want to hopefully have happen is J.D. Allen be healthy. He went down there toward the latter stages of the first half, so we don't know the extent of his injury. Hopefully the kid's okay. But this one you got to put behind you, whether you're Attica or Fountain Central. You got to, hey, we're done with this. We're over. What did we learn? For Fountain Central, you learn you can put up points on a lot of people. Attica, give the kids credit. They have not quit. They just battled back and scored a touchdown, and maybe we'll see an onside kick. Who knows?
Meanwhile, Attica will look ahead to North Vermilion continuing conference play next week. That will be a home game back on their home turf. So the kick will be taken now by Fountain Central.
I think one thing Coach King's going to work on, field goals. Can we get them in? Can we get them out? And was it the whole process was not smooth. Was it the snap? Was it the hold? Was it the blocking? Well, obviously one got blocked, but that whole system, I'm sure that will get some attention from Coach King.
Lane Hester had the return right there for Fountain Central. They get it back to the 42-yard line. So this will be Coach Herb King's 197th win in his 33 years coaching.
They really like that end-around inside handoff.
Certainly a solid one right there as Caleb Wills gets the run right there, a pickup of 6.
And Caleb Wills is only a freshman. They have on their roster, I think they have 15, 18 freshmen.
They certainly have a lot to choose from right there. Enough to field a JV team for the first time in about 6 seasons this year. Up the middle goes Paul Adams, keeping on trucking, gets across the 25-yard line, but a flag is thrown on the play.
I think we're going to have a horse collar, so we're going to go half the distance, I believe.
It's actually a face mask. Either way, it'll be personal foul and a first down.
I knew they grabbed somewhere they weren't supposed to.
So it's 15 yards from the spot of the foul. So that will put it all the way at the 20-yard line.
5 yards. First and 10. Mustangs from the 20.
Solid run right there, about 22 yards for Adams, who gets the call again on that end around inside.
Adams on the carry, gets down to about the 13.
And that's a pickup of 7.
Makes a second 3 for the Mustangs.
Adding more perspective on this win here for Fountain Central, this will be the 390th victory in program history overall, dating back to 1965. As there's a fumble on the play, and Willoughby's able to fall on top of that and keep possession here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think he thought he was in the pros. He got up, fumbled, recovered, and tried to get up and start running, and not quite like that in high school.
So no gain on that play. Certainly a testament of how much this Fountain Central team has grown over the last few years. Back in 2019, they went 0-10. Similar situation as to what Attica finds themselves right now. They have gone back-to-back seasons winless, 0-7 in 2021 and then 0-10 in 2022. But Fountain Central brought in Coach Herb King to rejuvenate this program, and he certainly has done that. Here's Willoughby again. He cuts to the outside, and he'll be stopped short of the goal line.
Willoughby on the carry, just shy of the
I tell you what,
and they're going to stop the clock here. A timeout is called here by Attica.
The Attica defense has played a lot of plays tonight, and I'm sure they're exhausted, and maybe Coach Allen wants to give them a breather here, but I think we're down on the 1 yard line. Interesting timeout. Second goal on the 1, 3 minutes 20 seconds to go, and a running clock, and maybe it's a coaching moment.
It certainly can be for head coach Tyler Allen, again in his first season at the helm of Attica. He takes over for Michael Winters, who lasted just 1 season at the helm of the Ramblers. He's also the 4th head coach in the last 5 years at Attica, and so that can certainly be tough for the students themselves going through that much coaching turnover right there, and if you want to try and build a program back to what it was.
Yeah, that transition's tough. Kids, though they don't always appreciate it at the time or ask for it, they like structure, they like continuity. If this is their fourth system in 5 years, so you got seniors that have probably never played for the same coach twice, which is tough.
Second down and goal. Hoffa on the late handoff to Paul Adams, and he gets into the end zone for another touchdown here for Fountain Central.
You know what? Even though it's very lopsided, there's been a lot of good sportsmanship. You see both teams helping each other up. You always don't see that in football games, especially in high school. But it seems like the kids are respectful of each other. And like I said, whether you're a coach or a player, whether you have 63 or 12, this is a tough game to be a part of.
Wildman here on the PAT is good. Get another look here. Paul Adams with his second touchdown of the night. Again, we get a look at the future here of Fountain Central here for the majority of this ball game. Again, the starters played about a quarter and a half before Coach Herb King pulled most of them when they were up by a wide margin. So the clock stopped here probably for the final time here in this ball game, as with 2 minutes 45 seconds left to go, both teams just looking to put this one away and look towards next week, as it'll be week number 5 in the high school football season, right here through the middle already. Time has certainly flown through this high school football season here in the state of Indiana.
Well, if you're a Fountain Central student, you've had a good homecoming. So you can go enjoy the dance, whether it's tonight or tomorrow night, and congrats to the homecoming king and queen and to all the fans. But, you know, you like to win homecoming. You don't expect to be ahead 64-12.
Certainly no, I don't think anybody expects to be ahead by that much going into a ball game. Squib kick fielded here by Attica. And that looked like Landon Snowden on the return here for the Red Ramblers. Clock winding once again here. Again, Dane Goris has played all of the snaps here today on offense for Attica.
And to his credit, he's played all the snaps on defense as well. That's safety.
He has also eclipsed 100 yards passing tonight, so that is certainly something to hang your hat on right there. He's been able to get the passing game going for the most part here through the latter part of this game. Granted, that has been against the second defense here for Fountain Central. So here's Goris. Going downfield, has his man, that is Tristan Miller. He tries to turn it upfield and gets out close to the 40. And that is good for about 30 yards and a first down.
Miller and Farrell have done a nice job in the second half catching the football.
Again, look at the replay as good amount of distance there that on that pass for Goris. 70 seconds, though, remaining in this ball game. Trying to get it to Crowder again, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
You know, that's good defense by Paul Adams, a freshman. I'm sure he doesn't get a lot of varsity action, but his timing was good, and he was able to knock the ball down at impact and stayed away from a pass interference call.
Goris going way downfield this time, trying to find Farrell close to the end zone, and it falls incomplete.
You know what? That was a really good pass. I believe he could have, should have caught that one. But, you know, so hurrying to get the line of scrimmage on an incomplete pass because they know the clock's running and they want one more score.
They're going to try and get one more play. Going to try and get one more play off as they get a high snap. Goris will pick it up from his side of the football field. He evades the pressure. Clock expires, Goris heaves it downfield for the end zone. It's caught just short of the goal line there by Rylan Farrell, and that will be the end of the ball game. Final score here in this one, Fountain Central at Rovies Attica 64-12 here in this one. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Tipmont. Super fast fiber internet at your fingertips with Tipmont. Find out if service is available at your address at tipmont.com. Coach, good to be with you here tonight, and a pleasure doing this game with you. Hopefully we can work again sometime soon.
It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it, and a tough one. That's a tough one for everybody, and hopefully Fountain Central gets some momentum from this, and hopefully Attica can bounce back.
Indeed, and as both these teams look towards next week, Fountain Central has Seeger. Attica takes on North Vermilion. Final score once again, 64-12. Thanks to Samoa as well as Elijah Mash and Sean Walker, our ISC Sports Network crew. For Bob Meslin, I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. You've been watching IHSAA football on the ISC Sports Network. So long, everybody.
Mulberry Telecommunications is proud to announce the next generation in awesome, Mintel TV. With the Mintel TV streaming app, you aren't confined to just your TV, but you need two things: high-speed fiber internet from Mulberry Telecommunications and a Mintel TV subscription. Available on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, and more, with features that include Cloud DVR, Restart TV, look-back options, and pause live TV. Mintel TV is definitely the next generation of awesome. Current customers, call 765-296-2885 for your free upgrade. New customers, visit Mintel.net to sign up today.